Okay, so let's do this. So thank you for tuning in to this afternoon's live session. So it is now 3:30 p.m., 6th of June 2024. So talking about the dollar once more. If we remember from the last session, so the 1:30 p.m. session today, I spoke about the fact that this higher low could be the sign that we want to go higher on the dollar in terms of the 1 hour time frame at least, to then realign with the daily time frame. So obviously we're still coming out of this daily demand area, and we have to keep in mind that we've took out the previous monthly low liquidity as well. So we've got the low, the higher low, higher high, higher low, and price is currently moving up as we speak. So if this structure is to remain intact, then this high should be vulnerable. In other words, this high should be taken out and we should have a closure above, which, like I've just said, would align with the daily time frame. These blue dots, we've got the low, the high, higher low, higher high. We've obviously come into discount prices now, as we've spoken about many times. So we've come into that area, had that reaction, come back down, took out the low as liquidity, and potentially we could be in for a push to the upside. Now, moving on to euro dollar. All right, so euro dollar, similar to the DXY, if we remember, we spoke about the previous monthly high being taken out. That has happened, of course, and then if we go down into the lower time frames, so it's looking like we are reacting from something to the upside currently. We've got that 4 hour imbalance, but something I was keeping in mind was the fact that we hadn't had a discount of this bullish leg on the 4 hour just yet. Just following those structure points right there. So if price does want to come down, that would make sense because that would also align with the dollar potentially going up to fill this bullish structure on the 1 hour. So yeah, that would make sense because we haven't achieved a discount as of yet. So we'll have to see what happens on that one. So let's talk about GBP JPY. So discussing this from a higher time frame perspective, if we remember what we spoke about was the fact that we come out of this daily imbalance, which was inside this weekly imbalance. Scoping down into the 4 hour time frame, we can see that price is using this 4 hour imbalance currently. So we've come back into there, had a 3-pin formation right there on the 4 hour, and obviously we are now within a secondary buy position. All right, so what that buy position was based off of was the 1 hour imbalance. If I just go over to this chart right here, the 1 hour imbalance was created and then price provided the entry to go long. What was the entry? The entry was the moment we closed above that last lower high right there, the two bodies together. That was the entry. Stop loss below this low, and I'm going for a 1 to 3 on that. Okay, so TP is 200.878. So in order for that to happen, if we just copy and paste that over to this, let's just do this. Might be easier. Okay, so that's the entry, that candle right there. We've got a 44 pip stop loss. Going for a 1 to 3. So yet again, this will require price to make a new higher high relative to this price action, which it can do. And we've also got the sell that is still valid as well. So even if those two buy positions get stopped out and the sell hits TP, we'll still make money. We'll still be in profit. So just to recap what positions we're actually in, let's just go over to this. So we're still within this sell right here. We came close to stop loss. It actually came 2 pips away from the stop and then came back into profit. We're floating around the entry point right now on this position. This position is still open and is risk-free. This obviously got stopped out. We mentioned that one. And now we're currently in this one as well. All right. So this is what I'm looking at. I said before, if we entered this area, that I'd be looking at shorts. Chances are we're not going to enter that now. Before 4 p.m. today, that is. That's this area here I'm talking about. So we'll have to see what happens. Risk is managed. I trust the system. Same as always. Okay. Let's move on to pound dollar. Let's get a clean chart right here. Okay, so pound dollar. So on the weekly time frame, we ran into that imbalance right there. And then on the 4-hour time frame, we've broken above this high, and we have, I believe we've closed above that high there as well. Let's just double check here. I think we have. So we've closed above that high right there on the 4-hour. But with this, what I'd be expecting is a pullback from this low to the high, because we've not had a pullback just yet. So following that structure, let's just draw this on together. We've got the low. This is daily structure right now. We've got the low, the high, higher low, higher high. This is the most recent structure from a daily standpoint. So what do we want to do? We want to buy in the discount, don't we? So there's nothing on the weekly, but I can see something on the daily that aligns really nicely within this discount. Just there. So that's a daily imbalance. Nice and simple. All right. So if and when price decides to come down into there, that would be a great opportunity to go long on pound dollar, in my opinion. Just following that bullish structure. You can see start to break these highs. We're putting a high right there, pull back, put in another high, pull back. So the trend is sustaining to the upside. Okay. Let's move on to silver. Let's just double check what that's done since our last call. This one here, I believe. So silver is obviously coming out of this weekly imbalance right now as we speak, in fact. Weekly imbalance. Okay, so we've got that. Let's scope down into the daily. This is what I was looking at on the daily chart, is this daily imbalance. We've not achieved that just yet. I would prefer to see that be reached as well, just because of the fact it is aligning within the weekly imbalance too. So yeah, we do have that. We've also, like I said, we've just hovered above. So this could be used as liquidity, because people that have gone long, they're going to have stops below here. So that is a potential of what price could do, to be honest. And if we do come into there, I'm going to be looking at the 30-minute time frame, because as we've seen before, when the price comes into a daily imbalance, the 30-minute time frame provides some really nice opportunities to go long. Here's number 1, here's number 2, here's number 3. Okay, this was out of a 4-hour imbalance. That would have been stopped out. Let's just have a look at gold now. Okay, so gold, if we remember what we spoke about, the fact that Need to reload these charts. Just a moment. Here we go. So gold, remember we were talking about the fact that price has broken bearish structure on the 4 hour. Could be quite significant information. Like I said before as well, if we do continue to break this low after achieving a premium, so for example, if we come up, come into here potentially, and then come down, close below that low once more with a candle body, then that is confirmed bearish structure. Whereas now, it's the first sign that price could go bearish. Okay, because following those red structure points, we've broken that last higher low. Okay, so that's now the low. Price came into a 4 hour imbalance really nicely. Just there, look. Which provided an opportunity on the 15-minute. Again, this is just something I marked on beforehand. And it's playing out really well. However, if we were live in the trade, I doubt very much that we would still be in it. We might have hit break even, but the methodology is still playing out because it bounced back up away from here. Okay. So that's that. Let's look at Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, because there was an area on this pair that I was looking at that has actually now been reached, which was this weekly imbalance. On the weekly, you can see this right here, look, weekly imbalance. We've got a miniature one there as well by the looks of it, but I preferred this one because it's inside the monthly imbalance right there. So if we're going to the monthly, you'll see that just here, look. So that weekly is within the monthly. So because we're now within a weekly imbalance, what we'd want to see is a 1 hour break of structure. All right, a 1 hour break of structure. So weekly's down there. Let's just look at this together. So we wouldn't have got an entry down there because that's Asian session. So what we do see right there is a 1 hour break. Which was also Asian session, so to be honest, probably wouldn't have entered that, but that would have gave the entry there. Just want to see how many pips below that. Okay, let's look at the 4 hour. So from a 4 hour standpoint, we'd want to see that be taken. Until then, it's a waiting game as always. So Euro CAD, so Canadian dollar, Euro Canadian dollar, continuing to climb. This is something I've been analysing for a couple of weeks now, a few weeks actually. It is a slow moving pair. You can see it goes sideways for quite a few days at a time before it actually does anything. But that's not to say that it's not tradable. It really does depend. Sorry, on what kind of trader you are. Whether you've got maybe more time doing other things, then this pair could probably be the pair for you. Because this pair right here could be more of a swing trading pair or a position trading pair where you don't have to look at it every single day even, because once you've got your higher time frame areas on, then you should be good to go as long as the higher time frame areas are accurate. Okay, so for instance here, these are weekly imbalances. Look how clean price is respecting these areas. We had a monthly imbalance right there. Tap and go on the weekly. Broke structure with these red dots here. That's all these red dots represent, by the way, if you were wondering what those were. So on the daily, you can see it a bit clearer. So it's just structure. So let's just go through it together. So we had a low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Price broke that structure point. The first sign that we were going to go bearish. because it's the first break of structure. Price then does what? Price comes into a premium and then makes another lower low. Okay, so price is now bearish. Then what price did? It then broke that structure point. The first sign that price is going to go bullish. Price done what? Price came into a discount, and now obviously we're doing internal bullish structure because that high could now be vulnerable. This one right here. Okay. So that's essentially what I'm looking at on this from a structural standpoint. And also above that, you can see we've got an imbalance resting above that, which is a monthly imbalance, resting above all of these highs. So it does make sense if we want to continue higher. If I just go to the monthly and zoom right in, you're going to see that. It's a very small one, but it's still valid. Right there, look. Monthly imbalance. And you can see I've highlighted the liquidity area to myself with that red line, because those highs, they're going to have liquidity above them. So obviously people that have gone short, that are selling the market, they're going to have stop losses above these highs, which gives the market even more reason to run those highs. So that's pretty much it for this live session. Again, thank you for watching. Same as always, same jargon. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop those questions in the Discord group, and we'll be sure to get back to you as soon as we can. But other than that, let's hold on to the trades that we have open. Let's remain patient. Let's remain sort of emotionally balanced. Like I said before in the Discord, we can't let, if we've had a positive run, we can't let that get to us in terms of, we can't be too ecstatic or too over the moon that things are going well, because equally if we're that emotionally involved when we're winning, when we're losing, we're going to be the opposite end of the spectrum. We're going to be down in the dumps. We're going to be thinking we're doing something wrong. It's important to kind of remain as neutral as possible. That's something I've learned along my journey, because when you've got a system that works, then it's just a mathematical game that you just need to execute on the trades that fit the plan that you're trading, and time played out over time, obviously the results will come. So that's pretty much it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's live session at 1:30 p.m. So thank you guys, take care, bye bye.